And that's when we're going to stop. So ready, add stream marker. All right. So, hey, it's day 28 of the custom beginner boost. Customizing your bash shell prompt. And I forgot to put beginner boost here. So I read it wrong. Boost. Hope everybody's good. We kind of, slowly trickling in here. I'm just gonna get going. We're gonna go really fast here because we've only got 45 total minutes and that's it. And we're gonna cover one of the most requested topics ever: how to customize your shell. So people, first of all, just say no to Oh My Z shell. And such. There's an Oh My Bash. Just forget it. You don't need it. Please, just don't. Just don't do it. The Z Shell team says don't use the Z Shell. Oh My Z Shell. So we're not doing Z Shell anyway. We're doing Bash, right? But a lot of people reach for Z Shell because why? Because they want a really fancy, awesome prompt. Now, I'm not against an awesome prompt. Everybody likes to see an awesome prompt. Hey, Last Miles, how's it going, sir? And so yeah, so here's the deal. I don't know how to say this. Let's say, how about this? Understand the science behind prompts. Now, you can do all the research you want on this, but I'm going to net it out for you, okay? So you don't have to do that if you don't want. There's good science that says that the smaller the prompt, the better. And that's why if you go on most systems, like base systems, you just have a very, very minimal prompt with like a hashtag for a root. And, if you have an account over there, it's just a $sign. In fact, in the old days, Last Miles probably remembers this. Last Miles is joining us. A rather famous streamer from Twitch is now on YouTube. He just joined us on YouTube to say hi. Thank you. But he's one of the guys who probably remembers when you just had a $sign or you had a hashtag. And there's lots of reasons for that, including, the maximum number of size of the screen. You didn't have a bunch of luxurious screens real estate. So here I've got my screen set to 79 width, which is kind of like the old days. It was 80. I can't do it exactly at 80 for some stupid reason. I don't know why. But back then, you didn't like giving up space to your prompt. And there's another bit of science that says that the prompt is not there to distract you. It's not there. These big flashy. You want me to give you an example of a horrible prompt? I can't resist. It's, what is it? Kali Linux. Guys, what is it? Is it Kali? It's not Kali. It's, oh gosh, I have it in here anyway. So it's Kali Linux. I can't find, here it is. There it is. Okay. So this is the example. I have to do this just because it's so fun. Because so Last Miles, who's from BSD fame, Risk Architecture, God, says in YouTube, you had a single character because your modem was 300 baud or 1200 baud, and if you were rich, the prompt would take time and bandwidth. So commands are to share, and most of the time the same when nothing else works. Well, that's probably true. I mean, there were lots of reasons. I mean, it's the reason that you got really good at using VI too, because it was painful to spam navigation keys back then. But so I've at least read one academic paper that talked about this, and I don't know. I should probably go dig it up. I don't know if it's worth digging up or not. It's in my GitLab notes. I still need to be ported over. Anyway, a prompt like this big fancy, prompt, something like that. Can you see, like, when you get a couple of these going on, can you actually see your commands? So the idea is one take on this. It's like kind of the older take, is that the prompt should be minimal because it's supposed to emphasize what you're doing and not distract. And the only thing I can see on this screen is the skull and the red. I mean, that takes control and sometimes the output. Now, the flip side of this is, that's Kali, by the way. I think that's funny. The flip side of this is we live in modern times where, you got a lot of stuff to communicate. and you don't have a lot. I mean, you're still running out of space. And so let me give you an example of that. So, old says smaller prompts focus on what's important. So I'm gonna put older. Newer says I have too much to communicate. Now I've seen people who have prompts. We have a lot to cover tonight, so I gotta go faster. We have people. I've seen people with prompts that have everything. They got the weather. They got little emojis, all kinds of stuff. No, put that down here, man. Put it down here in these other areas. It was also VI with Bod was yes. You're talking about VI. So I think that stuff should go here. I don't think it should be in your prompt. However, there are some cases where this is an issue, and I want to show you one case where it is. So let's first of all dissect the prompt. We've done this before, and one of the first few days we talked about what the prompt is. Let me just recap it really fast. In fact, let's put that. Let's put review what is actually in the prompt. Review what is actually useful to have in the prompt. And prompt. And we'll get from there. So traditionally you've had your own host name. Your host name is right here. Okay. And you have an @ sign, and you have your username at whatever here. If that looks like an email address, it's because that's where the email came from. And then they would add a domain, and that would be a way for you to communicate and stuff between systems. So that's where it came from. This colon says, okay, and then this is the other stuff. So in this case, this is a directory. It's the current active directory that I'm in, and there's lots of takes on that. Some people will have it so that it's, it's really long by default. It's actually really, really long, and it can get pretty dang long. I'm trying to figure an example where I can figure that out, but so that pushes it off a lot. And then, okay. So then we have other stuff. Hey, thanks for the sub. We have this stuff now. Okay. So what is this? This here is actually, no joke. I made a video about this. The reason I switched from master domain is not because of all the racially charged issues, which I think are complete bullshit. I don't think racism is bullshit. I think the term master is not racist. End of story. But I switched that because I wanted 2 less characters in my prompt. I was kidding. That's actually why I did that. And I wrap mine in these parentheses, and then I have the dollar. Now I do think that this thing right here should be pretty prominent. Why? Because that says, hey, here where you are. You just get ready and start typing. Also, when you're a root, it's tradition to do a hashtag here and change that color to dark. Now, I'm going to tell a really quick story of a time that the prompt really mattered and I screwed up. Okay, so, and I won't tell you the full story here. And set your terminal speed. No way. Last Miles says we should do STTY-A and change our terminal speed, but that's off topic and we're making a video, so we're not going to do that. We only got 36 minutes. Recorded streams. I just want to chime in and say thanks. Nice. Thank you so much. All right, so here's a story really quick. So I was hired. I was hired by a guy, really, really amazing guy, actually. He took a break. I mean, I had been a developer for the first part of my career. Started with, I've been all over the place. But long story short, I got a system administrator job, and I was administering Solaris and AIX, and we didn't have a lot of enterprise Linux back then. Last Miles might remember that. I was recently corrected on my use of the word white space. Yeah, you might have fun with that one too. So anyway, I got this job, right? And I'm sitting there with my laptop and I'm getting ready to go home for the day. And I type this. I type shutdown -H now, which anybody who remembers the old days will tell you that just turns your computer off, right? And the -H means halt, because if you don't do that in the past, it would be it would send out a big message and it would count down for 5 minutes because you maybe have like 16,000 users on a system and you have to tell them you're going to shut that system down. So, this idea of Linux being everywhere and it just being a single user system was not, built into Unix or Linux from the beginning. So that was you shut it down. So, but as you can probably, some of you have heard the story already, and you can probably guess the moral of the story. So I did that on the corporate mail server. So imagine this host right here saying some random weird thing. It was like, I don't know, HP, blah, 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 right? And I didn't look at my prompt. And because this is the one serious caveat and warning I have for anybody who lives on the terminal, you have to pay attention to your prompt. You have to pay attention. And if you think you can get away without having your host here, and I would suggest today, one of the modern equivalents of that is knowing what branch you're on if you're a developer. You think again, because you're going to be on the main branch, you're going to accidentally commit. I even made a thing that blocks that because I'm so afraid of it. Or you're going to be on the corporate mail server, you're going to think you're turning your laptop off for the day, and the laptop's not going to shut down. You're going to like, what's going on? And boom, now you're stuck there for 3 hours on calls with Boulder and your boss trying to remediate what turned out it didn't go all the way down. It just went to like a net 2. So it was still, mail was still flowing. I kept my job, but it was scary because that was like one of my first few months on the job, and I had shut down the corporate mail server thinking I was going to log off for the day. And in these times of Kubernetes where 5,000 nodes running, however many tens of thousands of cores of processing power at the same time, one command in the wrong place can do crazy amounts of damage to the whole infrastructure. Hi there, guys. Root prompt Russian roulette to shut down a number of hash. Been there, done that. Good. That's good to hear. If Last Miles has pulled that, done a mistake like that, then I don't feel so bad. I mean, we've all made them, right? So, but you guys get the point. Pay attention to your prompt. And so for the rest of the time, in the last 30 minutes here, we're going to talk about how you can construct a prompt in many ways. But before we get too far further into this, I want to talk about Linux Tips. So Linux Tips has put a rather good comment about and has uses a prompt underscore command, which we're going to get into. And I want you to go look at that too and see if you like it. Now, I've determined that I don't want anything. We talked about this yesterday or the day before. I want everything in a single RC file. I don't want it spread across multiple files, even though we found out the hard way you have to have a .pro file no matter what, or your bash RC will not be seen when you do an SU dash, which was a side effect that I had known about in the past and forgot about yesterday. So, okay, so let's keep going. Let's see. I'm going to have to not pay as much attention to the chat. You guys, you're welcome to chat and discuss amongst yourself, and I'll try to do what I can, but I've only got 32 minutes to cover this. So, in fact, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. No, I don't mean anything bad by that. I just gotta focus, and then we can chat and banter after that. Right, so first we got to get into our Boost containers, right? So you should already have a container. If you haven't, go back and watch the earlier days. So we're going to do Docker, we're going to do Docker start.ai and Boost. That's the way I named it. Okay, so now I'm in Boost, and I su dash space dash me, that's my account, and now I'm me at Boost. And my prompt is not very colorful, but it's very, very basic. And we have the tilde here, meaning I'm at home directory, so you can PWD, you can see where you're home and everything, right? So, but we're going to add a little bit of color here. So to do this, I'm going to actually go cheat and look at my bash RC that I've already got established that I worked on. Again, all this stuff is in my dot files and stuff like that. We did directory colors last time. We're not going to do path this time. We're going to do, but path is a big one, so I'm waiting on that one. Here we go, smart prompt. Now, this is a really, really hard topic to get into. I'm going to be going over it very quickly, and there's going to be a lot that's left out that you're going to have to study on your own. I'm sorry, there's just no way I can cover the whole thing in 30 minutes. But let me just give you an overview. So the overview to the way that I do it. So there's a couple things you can just do right away. If you want to mess with the PS1, this is all in the man page, right? The bash man page. So if you go to bash and you go search for prompt, the PS3 prompt is displayed. So you just search for prompt. There you go. Prompt command. Here you go. So there's some special variables out there. PS1 is the one we normally are dealing with. This value of this parameter is expanded. See prompting below and used as the primary prompt string. The default value is \s \v \blah blah blah. Right. Now this is where you're going to have to go restudy on your own because there's just too much to learn. The \s means I think hosts have to look up every time. And you can set those things. You can actually change PS2, which is used by Readline and other libraries, which I find is interesting. But we're not going to mess with that right now. But the way that we're going to approach this is because we have modern computers that have pretty healthy amount of processing power. We're not going to be doing a lot with the PS command, and we're going to use something instead. And this is how all Oh My Z Shell and Oh My Bash and all that stuff. This is how they do it. So the secret is prompt command. So prompt command executes every time your shell executes. Every time every time you hit enter. And there's a lot of fancy things you can do with this. So we have not added it yet, but one of the things you could do here, there's just some commands you can look up to add that will force your history to update every time you hit enter on no matter what. Normally that doesn't update until the session ends, and which is nice because if you have multiple windows, you can have each one have a different history, and you won't have the histories stepping on each other. You might think you want it to update right away, but normally you don't. But so that's one of the common uses for prompt command. But the other overwhelming commonly use of prompt command is to manufacture your prompt. And so you can see here that my prompt is a function. Okay, so the prompt command says every time I hit enter, run the function __ PS1, and I just chose that name because I didn't want to have it ever get overwritten by something else. Linux Tips noted when looking at this that you could just put this in a separate script. You could have a separate script. It doesn't even have to be a shell script. It could be anything. You can make it compiled C, Go, whatever, and you can have it run it because it's going to run it. And in this case, it's going to run whatever that function calls is. Could be an alias even, but actually no, I wouldn't think it would have to be. But in my case, I made mine a function call. Now why did I do that? This big long ugly function. I did this because I wanted it to be portable. I wanted it to travel with me so I get on a different system. Look with me. All right. So let's actually start by doing something a little bit simpler than that. And we'll go. But you can see that ultimately the result is going to be, I'm giving you an overview, and then we're going to do this one step at a time, so don't worry. And then after this, we're going to be doing, we're going to be setting this. So PS1 is double, right? PS1 is long or short. So we have these different sizes. And let me just show you the end result of this. I actually have to get into a system where I have a pretty long branch. Let me see if I can do that here. So branch, some really, really, really long branch. How's that? All right. So what I wanted to show you is that my prompt command detects how long the prompt is, and I honestly haven't seen this anywhere before. It's one of the reasons I wanted to show you how to make your own. So if I am home and I have enough room, it gives me a short prompt. But if I'm back in this long place, I have it's like ridiculously long branch, then it automatically makes a different prompt, and it makes this long version of the prompt, which is the best I can do given the fact that I mean obviously I'm not going to be typing code over here, right? So that's what happens in my script. Okay, so and that's why I have this. So I have the long and the short, and it does a little bit of checking some mathematics to check on the max prompt and the long prompt. So that's the overall goal. Okay, so we have 25 minutes. So we're going to, for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to just show you the minimal stuff to add to get color, right? Remember, we went through color on another day. I'm not going to go through color again. We're just going to put them in there pretty quickly. But we're going to be editing bash RC as usual. Bash RC. And so here we go. And you remember we had some of these other colors in here. In fact, we can actually add colors as variables if you want to do that. In a little bit, we can actually replace these with variables that you can reuse at that level if you want. There's lots of approaches to that. But let's go down here and say, we'll call it prompt. Let's say a prompt. So let's actually just start messing with it. So in fact, we can do this just interactively. So we can say this. We can say PS echo PS1. And we've got, look at that, man. It's pretty fancy, huh? Let's try to let's mess with it. So let's say PS1, and it was, you know, we're not changing it right now. We're just changing it for this interactive shell, so it's not a big deal. And we can play as PS1 to just, I mean, we could put like, I don't know, just put $1 in there. Remember, it's got to be, I'm putting it in single quotes so that it doesn't interpolate the dollar as the beginning of a variable. Okay, so that audit D will log in all user PID activity, and a prompt command really floods the audit logs. Really? An audit D will log all user PID activity, and a prompt command will flood the audit logs. Interesting. Audit D will log all user activity. That's interesting. Last miles, that's you make. I'm going to make sure to read all that before later. You might have a reason for me to actually change it. Because then we wouldn't have to run it every time, right? So, I mean, it does just change the PS stuff. So, I don't know. You have to let me know about that. We'll have to take a look at that. That might be a really practical reason not to do that. So, here's the most minimal prompt. So, here's a prompt like you might have in the old days, right? Oh, thanks, Kiki. You should make sure you watch Les Miles, too. He does a lot of great stuff over there. So let's try this. Let's give ourselves a space. All right. So now we have a space, right? That's like old school. That's the way it used to be, right? And if you want to pretend like you're root, even though you're not, you can do this, right? And you know, like ls and blah blah blah. Whoops, ls. And if you want to add color to it, you guys remember how to do color? Do you remember? Now this is super important. One super important thing about color. I'm going to put it in the Vim. You have to make sure to wrap your colors. Okay, so you could say use, let's see, change, let's say this, change PS1 to change your prompt. So that's ultimately what it's going to be about. And use brackets to keep spacing correct. Okay, so let's see, use escape, let's see, ANSI escapes for color. Now we already used that. Does anybody know what day that was? It's like some day, I don't remember what day it was. See, day something. Okay, now it's super important. So we're going to add color to our first prompt here. So let's go back to our dollar prompt. Let's say we just want to make it gold. So first of all, I have to figure out what color gold is. So let's just do that. Print F, and we use printf because why? Because printf automatically escapes backslash things like this. So that that is what is needed to do color. Go see the day for that. We covered it. And then you can do, like, I think 32 is one, 32M something, right? And you get a color. Now, what I want you to see is, you see how it changes the colors for everything after that? That's the bad part, right? So in order to fix that, we're going to need to do another \em. I happen to have these memorized these days. So 0M is the reset, and now you get the colors back to where they need to be. So you can probably derive from that what we're going to do now. So, and no, I'm not using, I mean, I should probably just use C for clear. It's nice and fast. So yeah, so there's our prompt. Now let's, I don't know, let's use that for our prompt. How about that? How about that? But we do PS1 equals, and we'll put $1 here. And then we're going to put this here, another $1 over here. Now we might have to backslash those actually. Now that I'm thinking about no, because they're single quotes. We should be fine. Let's check. Oh no, we're not. It didn't like the last one. So wait, PS1 equals. Oh no. What am I doing? That's right. Yeah. So we got that right. Now we could pretty play around with this. We could probably find a better color. 34 is blue for me. 36 is green. I'm gonna hit gold eventually. There's gray. I don't remember which one it is. Actually, I have it already. I have soul. Wait, I have. Was it 2d6 color? I made color magic color strip. How about this color strip? Oh yeah, there's my color. There's one colors. Dang it, I can't remember. I did a thing so it would show all the colors. I can't remember what it is now. What was it? Do you guys remember? Was it day 19? Thanks for. I can't remember. We made a command to show all the colors. I can't remember it. Story of my life, man. I can't. You know what? Here, give me a sec. Script. Grep. Wait. Git. Grep. Magenta. I'm running out of time. Term colors. There we go. Term colors. Okay. There we go. So if you guys want term colors, there you go. Give term colors. Now you can have my term color script for free. It's not that big a deal, but it is nice to have. So here they are. Anyway, so term colors. So yellow. Dang it. I jumped right over it. So let's go back. It's 33. We'll put 33 in here. There we go. That's a nice, pretty prompt, right? Well, what if we want to put some other stuff in here, right? So now you can't tell right now, but this actually has a problem. And it doesn't show, it's one of the most insidious problems to track down that you'll ever experience. Has anybody ever played around with their colors in their prompt and all of a sudden things start wrapping really weird and you start typing and it like overwrites the other letters that are there and your terminal just gets messed up? It's the most annoying thing when it happens because it's usually only off by 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 letters or characters. And the reason I found out after at least a full day of reading, felt like it, was this. These invisible escapes are not registering as the size of the prompt. So the internal PS1 mechanism and everything is designed to count over how many so that the lines end at the right time and all that stuff, right? So the only way to get around that is you have to wrap the whole thing in brackets, but those brackets need to be escaped. So you have to put a backslash. Now this is where it gets really crazy. I don't know about you, but when you start to look at that prompt, you're like, I cannot tell what's even happening here, right? So you're gonna have to go slow, and I promise you'll get it wrong for a while, and that's fine. You just reset it. But here's another one, right? So you put that in brackets. Now the space, we're not going to escape the space, right? Because we want that there. We want that to count against our thing. The reason you surrounding it in brackets is so that the empty sequences, which don't count against line width, are not counted against the wrapping that's happening. And if you don't do that right, you will be sad. I promise. You'll be very sad. Because you'll be like, why is this not doing this, right? So now it's already starting to get kind of hairy, right? I mean, this is just a color, right? And so then what? Now let's put, traditional and. Let's put the traditional and sign here, just a regular and, right? Okay, so that's fine. If you want to make that gray, you can. Actually, no, let's make it black. So 30M. Now you can tell how this is going, right? Now, and here's something too. You don't need to put a reset here because this other color is going to kick in. So you can at least you can save yourself that. But we're going to go ahead and put these brackets first, and then we're going to put the escape sequence, which gets, I'm telling you, it gets pretty hairy. Now that's not escaped, right? That's an actual left bracket. And then we're going to do, what was it? 30 for black, 30M for black. Now I should have like a gray, right? Okay. Now inside of here, maybe before this, maybe we want to put, what do we want to put here? So maybe we want to put what our current directory is. So for that, I have to go back to man bash, and I'm going to go search for prompt again. And prompt command, I'm going to see prompting. I'm going to keep looking for prompting. And it's going to tell us. All right, here we go. So here's all the stuff for prompting. You can actually put an ASCII bell in your prompt. I mean, seriously, if you want to really troll your friend, like get on their command line terminal and put \A into their prompt in their bash RC without them knowing it. Or actually, don't even edit their file. Just like put it in their prompt. Just like edit their prompt and add \A. Every time they hit any command, it'll be like ding, 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 ding. Can you imagine doing that? You should do that. It'd be really fun. So here you got all this great stuff you can put in here. Look, I mean, if you wanted to, you could put the whole entire freaking date in there. Let's do that. We got to do that. Let's do that. So \D. Let's say that's going to do. Ooh, look, it's got my date, but it's in gray. Well, that must end immediately. Well, what color should this thing be? I don't know. We'll make it blue. I like blue. I like blue. Where did my colors go? Is it 6? Yeah. All right. Blue is 34. Okay. So we're going to put 34 in here. Where is it? Damn it. Okay. So we got to, here, we got to do this. All right. So we'll do the brackets later. So a bracket 34M. All right. And then we're going to put the safeties around it. Don't forget your safeties. I'm telling you, you're all going to, and you're going to like, why is my thing wrapping in weird ways? That's why. All right. Now, let's change that. Let's just experiment with that one. Let's see. So, what we got? We got \E, D. Let's try other stuff. What else we got? Whoop. I don't know. Is that 7? Okay. So, we could put the weekday. I'm going to try A. Should we try A? You can't hear it. Can you hear it? Most people have their bells turned off. No bell for you. Sorry. Yeah, so that wouldn't work. That's not working. And the letter becomes P, the erase function. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a funny joke, though. Wow, look at this. You can put the whole date in there. The ASCII escape character. We were doing that. The host name up to the first dot. All right, that's what we want, right? Actually, you can put capital H. I never do capital H, but let's try it. Capital H. What is that going to do? Hey, look. Boost. That can't be right. That's not the host name. Did I do that right? Oh, right. That's my host name. Yeah, because I'm on a container. Good thing I didn't forget. So, yeah, you can put that's the whole host name, though. So you probably don't want the whole host name. These days, that's good enough. But let's just put H there. All right. Then what? Let's see. J, the number of jobs currently managed by the shell. L, the base name of the shell's terminal device name. What? You can't even put carriage returns in there. I don't know why you would, but you can. Excuse me. The name of the shell. How about that? The current time in 24-hour format. The current time there. The current time there. The username of the current user. U looks like a good one. The version of bash. Seriously, who wants their version of bash in their prompt? I mean, really. Do they want the version of bash in their prompt? The release of bash. The current working directory. With a tilde. I think that looks useful, right? Let's try that. Let's try the current working directory with home abbreviated with a tilde. I'm going to tell you, though, I don't like \W. I actually made my own script for this, and I don't think we're going to get to it. This is going to be fun because you're going to be able to go experiment now. Again, the purpose of the boost is to give you enough so that you know what to do and where to go to do it, and encourage you to do it. I'm not going to give you the whole thing. There's just no way. So, but check this. So if I go, so I'm in this nice happy place, right? So if I go into user local bin, you see how it prints out all of user local bin, right? Well, that's not really very nice, right? So now you guys actually know what to do here. I've already told you about this. Do you remember? You guys remember good old? Do you remember the good old the parameter expansion stuff? Yeah. The problem is with this is it executes. It doesn't execute every time. So you guys remember how to do base name, right? Did we do this already? Does anybody remember it? There's actually, I think there's a backtick for this, so whatever. But we're gonna go ahead and do it anyway. I think it's this one, and then it's space slash. Did it work? It did. It did. Huzzah! So you remember this? Did I not say we were going to be doing shell scripting? I told you this is why we had to learn it. So here we go. See that right there? What is that? That's the alternative for directory and base name. Now I think there's already an option for that. The current working directory. There it is. So instead of doing that fancy, wonderful parameter expansion, instead of doing that, we can change all of this to be \W. Same thing. Yay. The history number of this command, no, not interested. The effective user ID is 0. Oh, this is cool. Ooh, I did not know about this one. I'm going to add this, and $$ is way better than just a plain old dollar. So I'm going to do this, $$. Oopsie. So now it'll be $, or it'll be a hashtag. Now the problem with that is usually we want it to be red too, right? So yeah, the character getting ready with the backslash, the beginning sequence of a non-printing character. So that's where the colors come in. They're kind of hinting at that. So here we go. Beginning of a non-printing sequence characters, which used to be a terminal sequence into the prompt. So that's there. If you get lost in this video and you want to go back and read all about it, it's in the Bassmadge page. Search for prompting. All right, so that's all well and good. We've got this prompt that's sort of working. We have this @. Let's go ahead and add the user, which is you happen to know. So that's me, but that color will not stand. So we're gonna change that right now, and we're gonna put what are we gonna put in here? We're gonna put I think it should be gold, a yellowish color. I like that color because it kind of I don't know, it makes me feel good. Color, you might have a different color that makes you feel differently. There. Okay. So, me @bin. Wow, that's like one tiny little prompt there. That's pretty damn cool, huh? All right. So let's play with this some more. Wait, I gotta go find my. I don't want to lose it. So I'm doing set-ovi, by the way. You gotta see my keys there. So that's how I'm going up and down through my history. I did set-ovi for my keys, right? So we've done a nice, wonderful little construction of our prompt, and that's the first step. We're gonna take this prompt right here. You can cut and paste it however you feel you want to. I'm gonna go ahead and cheat and use my mouse. There's lots of ways to do that without that if you want. In fact, including this, you want to do it without the mouse. You want me to be a purist? Check it. Okay, so I do this trick all the time. You can take this and you can do echo, right? And you can put, you'll have to escape these out temporarily. But if you don't want to, you echo and then make sure you don't blow away your system on this. Two sides. See that? 1, 2 bracket, angle brackets, right inside. And then what? And then you do ~/bashrc. What's it going to do? I'm telling you, somebody watching this video is going to blow away their bashrc with no backup in this moment. And I'm telling you, don't do that. Make sure you have 2 greater than signs. And that says append. And if you do that, oops, I screwed up. I screwed up. What did I do wrong? You know what? This isn't going to work. There's just too many escapes in here. You're going to have to copy and paste this some other way. I'm sorry. That's not going to work. A lot of times though, you can take your previous command and you can just cat it out to a file or append to a file or something. And then you can just take the file. So you can use that as a cheater for the buffering. But we'll just really cheat and we'll use our mouse on this one. I mean, after all, you know how to use your mouse. You wouldn't have got here, right? So we're just paste it, middle click. If you're on Windows Terminal, it's right click. But if you're on Linux, it's middle. So there we go. We've got I used to use, oh, it's because people are saying they used to use the generator for this. Yeah, well, now you know how to use it, right? It's more fun when you know how to make your own. You can construct your own. You say, no, I made my own. This is handcrafted prompt goodness. All right, so then you can export it. You actually don't have to export it to PS Prompt. This is kind of not known. You don't really need to export it. You can, though. It doesn't hurt. What does export do? Anybody remember? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Export puts it in not just the current shell, but all subshells, everything after that. So if you have like a child of a child shell, it'll still get it. So that's why we do that. Now, that gave you a prompt. Yeah. So they're both environment variables, but the export just gives it to any other shell scripts that might be called underneath this one. They will get a PS1 as well. If you don't put export, any shell scripts that this shell might start will not get those variables. Okay, so export is for everything you want to propagate down into everything else. If you don't export it, only the top level gets it, and that's super important when it comes to stuff like that. I don't know if this one would be, if it doesn't hurt to export usually, because other stuff can override if it wants to. But I've seen just last week I corrected a shell script at work that literally exported every single local variable, like tiny little X and Y and stuff, and I was like, okay, I guess that's fine because, you know, you just don't need to. Just don't do that. It's wasteful. Anyway, so you guys got yourself a prompt. Now, there might be something else that you want to do. If you want to add dynamic information, there is 2 ways to do that. One of those ways is to put it. Is to put it in here. Now, the /w, by the way, let me show you what's wrong with this. If I were to replace /w, I'm going to go just a little over, it sounds like tonight. If I were to do pwd with my little fancy baster, this has a problem, if I remember. And so that is, okay, so first of all, let's go exec bash, right? Hey, there we go. See? Now, it's first of all, it's not doing it. It's pwd. Yeah, that should be doing it. It's not working. Why is it not working? pwd. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, because it's not being evaluated. That's right. Oh, another thing too. Watch this. So, well, no, seems, well, I don't know. For some reason, it's not. I might have a problem here. Echo PS1. I might have a problem. Let's see here. Something's not working on that. Oh, I know why. What? Oh, thank you. Cordimer for the win. I had the wrong ones. Thank you, people. Let's try that. Oh boy, what did I just do? I did a return there. Okay. So, but I think I may have actually remedied part of this problem. So I'm curious to see what happens here. So we have to load this up, and you can either with a dot or you can just exec bash, either one. And now we have a new prompt. All right. Now it's kind of there, right? It's like, but it, you know, if you're at the root prompt, it doesn't put anything in it. /temp /user local bin. It put bin. So it seems to be working. So I think that's fine. You know what? I think it's fine because it is a parameter expansion. I'm going to try something though. Let's see if we can replace this with code. Let's see if we can replace it with code. Let's just say, oh, I don't know. Let's just say the current date. I mean, obviously there's another thing for that, but let's say if we can just have it change it and have it be the current date. I'll try it this way. All right, ls pwd ls, and it seems like it's updating, right? So that seems to be working fine. I think the secret here is to make sure that you use single quotes. If you use double quotes, what happens? I'm going to put that in my stats, in my thing, and that'll be good. We're almost done. Make sure to use single quotes. What happens if you do that whole PS1 with double quotes? What happens? If you use double quotes, yeah. If you use double quotes, it's evaluated once. And you wouldn't want to do that because of all these backslashes anyway. But if you use single quotes, it's evaluated every time it runs. So prof got that. And that's super important. And that's why I was pausing, because I know I've done it wrong in the past. And I was actually questioning whether it was even going to work at all. But as you can see already, you can create enormous possibilities here. Another thing you could do so the last thing I'm going to show you, and then I'll be done for the day. I'm going to go back and put \W here, right? But you could actually, over here, if I know you could do, do something fancy, but you could do something. You could put a variable, okay? So you remember, this is a $sign variable, so you could say sum, and that variable could change, right? So let's do that. So let's say export sum equals thing. And then we do this, and then now it's always going to be thing, right? So cd slash cd bash, okay. But you know where I'm going with this, right? You can probably tell. What if I made thing like an entire script? Do you know what I mean? What if I made I could make my random quotes. I could do anything here, right? And in fact, I could make a function. That you can make this entire prompt, and that's what I have done. You could build up this entire prompt as a string from a function. In fact, let me show you how to do that. So let's make a function. You haven't done functions in shell scripting. I think we did one really quick, and this is going to be the last part of it. And I'm just pushing you on your way. I'm boosting you into absolute insanity with your shell if you want it. Yesterday I tried to magic one a JSON file into JQ through a script, but because I had to echo $1 to JQ, the double quotes would disappear. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that a different day. That's a good question, though. All right, so let's make a function. So let's say I like to make my functions like this. It's just old school POSIX style. You could use any number of other options for that, but the simplest version of this is this. You could just say export. In fact, you don't even have to do this. You could, yeah, you can. You can just say export PS1 equals this. Right? Now, some people have suggested that this is bad for auditing, and your audit deal will get crazy. If that's true, the entire world is going to be filling those logs, because I know everybody's doing this, even if I don't think people care too much about the audit logs personally. They probably should care, but they don't. So, if you're using your own personal containers and workspaces, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Export PS1, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So every time this is called, so now instead of this, we do this, right? So now we say prompt command, and this never has to be exported. You see people export this all the time. I don't think it needs it at all. Prompt command, and then all the prompt command needs to be is the name of something to run. In fact, because this is, you can put it in single quotes just for fun, it's not a string. It's the name of a function to run every time. And that is equivalent. Now, the thing of that is that now you're good to go, right? So, there's lots of ways to approach this. You could keep it as it is and have little running programmy things inside of it. If you want to do that, you can certainly do that. You can build up the whole prompt however you want. As you see, nothing really changed there. It's up to you. It's up to you. Sky's the limit. But so you could do right here. You could say sum. Hell, you could even use localized variables and everything. You can say local sum equals date. We really have got our VI. Our VI into customization is really driving me nuts, but we'll get it. So you can do that, right? And now sum is going to be something, and now export is going to prompt every time, and you can probably get. You're on your way. I don't think I need to do much more than that. So did that even work? I don't think it worked. What's going on? I have a bug, Houston. Sum equals date. PS1. Did it not export or something? Export prompt. I know. Let's do this. Let's do PS1. It still puts thing in there. Why is it doing that? Oh, you know why? Local sum equals date. Oh, because it's localized. I think I broke my own thing. Oh, wait. We can use single. Yeah. So anyway, this is shell scripting, an exercise in shell scripting. I'm not gonna run this down any further for you, but yeah, you can do the shell scripting thing here. I have to get that out of the quotes or it's not gonna get replaced. That was what was going on. That doesn't have to be exported or anything. This should probably do it. It's not doing it. Why are you not doing it? Why are you not working? Echo, somebody tell me. Using SE Linux 2221. I don't know. I don't. But it's something's not right there. I'm gonna let you figure it out. The point is you can build up. I'm doing the source. I sourced it. I did. Uh-oh. That's why. I got errors. If you get errors in your basher C, it'll silently not tell you, and then you'll fail. And then it won't work, and then you'll be sad like me. Okay, so line 54. What did I got? That's why we're doing it in container. Remember? You know what? Because I'm trying to... Yeah, I see what's going on. I see what's happening here. It's trying to group it, and I need to put that in double quotes. I mean, you guys... Yeah. You just... Yeah. I mean, if you want to, you could do this. You could do... God, I don't know. Export PS1, and then you could just do PS1 equals that, and then PS1. What is the append? I think it's like this. I want to say it's that. No, that's the default value. You guys remember append? It's plus, right? I don't remember. Does anybody remember? I think that's it. let's source it and see what happens. Oh, hey, it worked. it took over my entire prompt though. That is not what I wanted. Okay, wait. It's something here. You guys know? I'll have to look it up. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna totally cheat here. This will work. It's just not as elegant. You can do PS and then you can do some. Right, that will definitely work. Right, so yeah, you can do that. Now, wait. I mean, you could do this here too. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's shell scripting at that point. So, and I'm failing miserably because I'm doing it fast. There you go. So it's totally ugly, but you get the point. All right. So. So there you go. Have fun with it. Play with it. I'm going to go back to just having this here. But as you can see, you can like build up all kinds of stuff. If you want to get some ideas about, the big crazy one that I've created, it's its own entire, kind of shell script. You can do something like mine. And you can go look at mine. I'm not gonna go into it all with you. But see, I actually have some stuff here for the Z Shell code for a while. I wanted to have it supported, Z Shell. I don't really care anymore. But it's got all the little pieces, and then it's got some stuff like, hey, it even does some crazy stuff where it creates one that has no color, and then it counts how big it is. And then it chops it and decides which one to use based on the color. So it's all doing that dynamically every time you push enter. I mean, there's a part of me that like winces at that, but I don't care. It's fine. It's my prompt. So, and then ultimately that helps us. I end up putting all those into variables, and then I paste them all together in a nice pretty way. And so I get 3 or 4, three variables, long, short, and double. And then based on, I measure like, the size, count me as the number of characters in the string. That's what the hashtag is. And it says, okay, then go ahead and change it and set your prompt based on your width. And so that runs every time I hit prompt command, even though it probably hurts my audit log, as last Miles has said. And so that is a really, really fun way to have total control over your prompt. when people, and I'm going to wrap up on this note, people, when people reach out for, shell engines, as someone says in chat and YouTube, or, prompt builders and stuff like that, or they reach for another plugin system, or, they get a shell, an interactive shell like Z Shell that has a plugin manager, you don't need it. Why? You don't need it because you know how to script. That was the thing. That's why we learned to script. First of all, our first language some of you have ever used is shell scripting. The same thing you use every day on the command line. Every time you type a command, you are already coding. Just take that coding ability to the next level. Learn shell scripting first, and then you can add all the other languages on it later. But that will allow you to customize and write crazy, crazy, crazy scripts, and you'll know what's going on. And it won't just look like chicken scratch at that point. It'll be a lot of fun. There's nothing more fun than customizing your prompt when you're first starting out. I mean, let's be real. If you like to, and forgive the racism in this term, I was informed recently that this is a term that people use. If you're going to, quote, rice your terminal command line, this is the way to do it. Write your own shell scripts. All right, I'm out. I'll see you guys later.